to get into the top half of rankings now. This is not going very quickly, but bear with me. This team, my note was durability concerns all around, a lot of youth. So we have a quarterback at 7.5, running back 7.5, wide receiver 9, tight end 8. We are talking about Taylor Spurrier. Quarterbacks, you got a guy who's addicted to concussions and a guy who is coming off of an ACL injury who is, drum roll, 35 years old. So don't shoot the messenger. That's scary. Other than that, I mean, Pacheco, a lot of touchdowns on the table for him. Kamara, pass catching, crazy. You know, I think if he repeats what he did last year, what did he do last year? He was a PPR running back 11. So that's really good right there. CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown is disgusting. George Pickens should be okay, but he's your wide receiver 3, so he doesn't need to be anything more than okay. Evan Ingram, PPR god, especially in the tight end premium. Deontay Johnson, I think, is going to be another PPR monster. Running back depth is a question mark. Marshawn Lloyd might not even be the running back 2 on his team. Tyjae Spears should be the 1A, 1B with Pollard, but who knows what Tennessee does with the new head coach. Charbonnet was a huge disappointment last year, and then you got a couple rookie wide receivers. Who knows what happens there? And then Jahan Dotson, I hate him. He's terrible. Goodbye. Moving on. This team's note, I didn't really have anything other than to say just really, really solid top to bottom. I think we talked about this during the draft in the chat as well. Quarterback 8.75, running back 8, wide receiver 7.5, tight end 8.25. This is Jake Wheeler, noted comer, not the art museum. We got Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff as our quarterbacks with Gardner Minshew to fill in as needed. Hopefully you don't need him too much. Doubling up wide or tight ends, Travis Kelce, Jake Ferguson. A lot of touchdowns to be had for both of them. I think Ferguson's going to be the number 2 target in the Cowboys offense, which is always a nice thing to see. Kelce's obviously still the 1. Kyron Williams, I don't think Blake Corum does much to take away from him. Devin Singletary, he could be 75, 80% of Saquon, especially with the better offensive line that they have in New York. Amon-Ra, monster. Zay Jones, stacked with Lamar, great. Amari Cooper, we'll see what happens with Deshaun, and also with Judy coming in and taking some targets. Still really, really good. Raheem Mostert was the RB2 last year. He had like 20-something touchdowns. Brandon Cooks, don't see you playing him much. Rashad Bateman, I probably wouldn't play. And then you doubled up again on wide receivers with Dobbs and Wicks. Just one ball. Same thing with Mostert and Flowers, but I think they won't rarely ever see your starting lineup. So I wouldn't be sweating it if I were you. I know you aren't. This team, again, really, really solid draft. I drafted this team. This is Alex's team. I said TDs for days, all upside plays. The rhyme was not intentional. I'm just now seeing it. Quarterback 8.75, running back 7.75, wide receiver 8, tight end 8. Alex gave me a lot of notes on what he was looking for. He said he was happy with his team afterwards, so hopefully that sentiment still rings true. Jalen Hurts, I think with Kellen Moore as the OC is going to be insane. Matt Stafford as the QB2, if he's healthy, stacked with Tony or with Puka, would be, it could feed families. Daniel Jones as your fill-in quarterback with rushing upside and an actual true 1 with Malik Neighbors there could be something really cool. We got Achane. He's not a volume play, but he's efficient and he's so fast. Aaron Jones should be really good. He's your RB2 either way. Mike Evans, touchdowns go crazy. Rashee Rice, I don't think he's going to get suspended this year. If anything, it'd be pushed down the road. Mark Andrews, you wanted your elite tight end. There he is. Pollard, like I said earlier, with Spears 1A, 1B in Tennessee. That OC who came down to Tennessee to be their head coach did some really creative things with running backs there as well. Ben Sinnott, I think he's a late season play. He should grow. Troy Franklin was the auto pick when Scott logged out like a coward. and I would drop him, but that's just me. DeAndre Hopkins is hurt right now, but when he's healthy, he's DeAndre Hopkins still. Darnell Mooney should be the 2 for Kirk Cousins. And then Kendre Miller, if Kamara gets hurt, I think he should slot in there. So congratulations for having a great draft. Shout out me. This team here, I have elite and then in parentheses, old running backs, quarterback questions, and solid wide receivers. So we're looking at, where are they on my sheet? 7.5 quarterback, 8.5 running back, 8 wide receiver, 8.75 tight end. We are looking at Scott Breen's roster, the commissioner himself. Quarterbacks, I'm iffy on. Caleb Williams could be something. Aaron Rodgers definitely was something. Is he going to be something going forward? Who's to say? No third quarterback is interesting. I don't blame you for it. Looking at running backs, you got Chubb on the pup, which is huge. If he comes back and is 80% of himself, you're still having a great time. And then pairing him with Joe Mixon, who the Texans backed up that they wanted him to be the guy with the contract they gave him after trading for him. And then Breece Hall with Aaron Rodgers could be really, really, really good. Should be really, really, really good. Then you got Justin Jefferson, takes a hit with McCarthy going down. Sam Darnold sucks. Jaden Reed, I like a lot. Shout out my dynasty team. I think he could be the 1A of their receiver room, but we'll see. Ladd McConkey is leaps and bounds better than any other wide receiver the Chargers currently have. It just depends on how much volume he's going to get. Jackson Smith and Jigba, I said this earlier when we were talking about Tyler Lockett. I think JSN takes the leap and becomes the 2, right behind, DK Metcalf, Trey McBride. Saw really good things from him at the end of the year last year. It's just going to come down to, can he do something similar with target competition from Marvin Harrison Jr. and throw Zay Jones in there? Why not? Jerome Ford to cover your Nick Chubb absence is great. Some hurt other guys. Cole Kmet's really solid. You don't have to use him much with Trey McBride. Malachi Corley, never really been a big fan of. Xavier Legette could be a question mark. Who knows? Antonio Gibson should be in jail. So yeah, that's number 3. So we've done 12 through 3 at this point. I'm going to jump up to team number 1 so that there's no loss of suspension of who the number 1 team is here. It's between obviously 2 teams. But I put elite quarterback duo in a deep, with like 8 E's, wide receiver room. This team's rankings come out. Quarterback is a 9. Running back is an 8.25. Wide receiver is an 8.5. Tight end is a 7.25. And I'm not talking about his tight end, if you know what I mean. We are talking about father of 1. Wait, they're both fathers of 1, right? Reed Brennan? You can't answer me, but who knows? Father of 1, Reed Arnold. You are coming out as number 1. Surely this doesn't blow up in your face. There's no Madden curse. There's no Dalton curse yet. Josh Allen and Kyler Murray is insane. For a Superflex league, with the rushing upside that both of them have, is disgusting. Congratulations. That is so good. Then you have Jonathan Taylor. When he's on the field, he's a dog. DeAndre Swift. That's a good offense. They have a good defense. They should be in every game. He should be involved. Who else do we have at running back? Jalen Wright. Lot of mouths to feed in that running back room. We'll see what happens, but you probably shouldn't have to play him that much. Jordan Mason covered those bases with McCaffrey being hurt right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he's early involved in the beginning of the season there. Wide receivers, and it's so deep. You got Debo, you got DJ Moore. Those are ones, obviously. Christian Kirk is a really solid 2 as your 3. And then you have Calvin Ridley, jail. We'll see what happens there. I mean, every clip I've seen has been him just, being lazy in practice, getting clamped by, Seahawks DBs and joint practices. Mike Williams, if he's healthy, he's going to be really good with Aaron Rodgers. Deep ball merchant. Gotta love to see it. Speaking of deep ball merchant, Jameson Williams, Demario Douglas, we'll see. I don't know. A lot of question marks in New England. Tight end, Schultz is fine. He's probably going to be the 4th target on that offense, best case scenario. And then Musgrave, what did I put your tight ends at? I might have to move those down a little bit. 7.25, that feels fine. And then Brissett, if he doesn't play, Drake May starts, sound. I think something fell in my air conditioner. And then Jonathan Brooks. I mean, when he comes on, you have another plug-and-play running back probably. So that's really nice. This team's disgusting. And then we'll jump. I gave you your note. And we'll jump down to Brennan at number 2. Crazy pass catcher, shallow running backs was my note here. So, Brennan, your team shook out this way. I gave you an 8.75 at quarterback, 7 at running back, 8.75 at wide receiver, and an 8.5 at tight end. Where is your roster? There it is, Black Earl. Quarterback. You got Pat Mahomes. Congratulations. Geno Smith, sure. And Sam Darnold. Have fun with that. It's really elevated by Patrick Mahomes. So that's where that 9's coming from. Maybe a little high. Did I give you a 9 of that? 8.75. Okay, yeah. Seems fair. Running backs, Dave Montgomery. Why do you have a running back 2 starting in your slot there? Javonte Williams. Didn't see much from him last year. Don't expect to see much from him this year, honestly. Jaleel McLaughlin could take touches from Javonte. Zach Moss could not even be the one on his team. Rico Dowdle is confirmed not the one yet on his team. Tyler Algier, we know that Bijan's there. So running back was clearly not a priority. Don't really blame you with the value that we're placing on other positions, but some attention should have been paid to that. That was clearly directed at your wide receivers, Garrett Wilson, Drake London. I think Cooper Kupp is still the one. So him being fully healthy, we'll see what happens there. Dalton Kincaid, I think, is going to be the number 1 target in Buffalo. So being the number 1 target for Josh Allen is a really good thing to be, especially a tight end premium here. Tank Dell, he's really good. We'll see if he comes back like he was early in his his breakout rookie year there. Darnold, again, wouldn't. Greg Dortch should be the 3, but then you got Trey McBride, so it's like he might be the 4th target on that team. And then Josh Palmer, he has the talent, I guess, to be the 2. I would still put McConkey above him. And then you have, obviously, Quentin Johnston, the worst human on the planet. So that is how my ranking shook out, again, from top to bottom. Reed, Brennan, Scott, Alex, Jake, Taylor, myself, Kiernan, Will, Mark, Logan, and then 20 feet of garbage, and then Ben. So I don't know where I'm sending this. I'll figure it out. Love you, miss you, really want to kiss you. Have a good weekend. Again, happy Friday, Ben.